And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a game called Ruse, a steampunk murder mystery card game. Now, murder mysteries is a theme that I like very much. I was also interested to see that this game included a solitaire game, and it also included novella, a murder in St. Sebastian, which, I don't buy games to get books, but hey, this was in the box. Now, when I read through the rules, I was kind of surprised to see that one person was going to lose and everyone else was going to win. Well, that happens occasionally in Cosmic Encounter, so that's not necessarily a bad thing, but let's take a look at the games. Okay, we're going to talk about the solitaire game first. You're going to get 5 dice here. You have 3 accusation dice, a purple wild guess die, and a green alibi dice. You have the 6 suspects here. You have a token here for 7 days. Each day, you'll take one of these, and you're going to roll the dice. Okay? Now, what I'm supposed to do on each turn is to take one of the blue or purple dice and place it on that matching person. So let's say I place it here on Major Norman. And then, the green alibi die, if there was someone on them, I must take that die off that person. There isn't. And if I am then allowed to take a die off somebody if I want to. That was day 1. Let's try day 2. Hooray! I got another one of these dice. And the alibi die does not match anything I've had so far. Day 3. Not good. I'm going to stick this one on her and take one of these off of him, because that's what I'm supposed to do. Day 4. And, well, I'll put this one on him, and then I'm allowed to take one off somebody, so I'll take this one off him. Day 5. I'll put this one on him, and this makes me take one off, and then I'll take this one off her. Day 6. Alright, I'll put the purple one on him. Day 7. And there. That's it. I've lost. See, what I needed to do was I needed to get all 3 dice on one person. This is a partial victory in a sense, because this die is shaky evidence. To get the complete one, I need to get 3 on the same person. There's then a little scoring sheet to show how fast you got lucky and the game ended. And they give you different scores based on that. And that is the, quote, game, unquote. Now, for the game itself, each person's going to take one of these suspects and put it in front of them. And then you'll pick one of the people who's left over that no one has taken, and that person has been killed. All right? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to have a handful of cards drawn from the Ruse deck. Now, this deck is essentially a regular deck of cards. But instead of suits, they've put colors on the corners with some very faded out things in the background for people who are colorblind. And so there's 4 suits that are just different colors: blue, green, purple, and red. Other than that, everything's the same: ace, king, queen, jack, all the way down through 1 with 2 jokers in the deck. So you're going to get a handful of these cards. On your turn, these are your options. You can play a card in front of another player if that card is an opportunity card. So this one here is an opportunity. Opportunities are odd numbers of red and purple. You can play a motive card, which are the even numbers of red and purple, or you can play a method card, which are the face cards of red and purple. When you play that card in front of someone else, you are supposed to tell a story like, Captain, I know you did it because you own a poison dart Gatling gun, and, well, poison darts were found in her. All right, so then other players can play these same cards in front of you, but only one of each kind can be played in front of you. Only one opportunity, one method, and one motive. And they have to be the same suit. So I couldn't play this opportunity card here because it's purple, and the cards in front of me have been red. Although if all the reds are gone for some reason, I can start playing purples in front of somebody. Another thing you do on your turn is you can play a joker card if you have one and move one of these in front of you in front of someone else, as long as it matches a suit and they have room for it. And then finally, on your turn, you can play a alibi card. Now, the alibi cards are green and blue. And when you play an alibi card, you need to match exactly. See, this is a queen, blue, and this is a queen method. So instead of having a hypodermic in bottle, I would say, no, it's actually a different type of poison that I had, and I get rid of that card. Now, you want to get rid of these cards because if you have 3 cards in front of you, opportunity, method, and motive, and you can't get rid of one of them on your turn, you lose the game. Now, you are allowed to, once per game, turn this guy over and just get rid of 1. So once per game, so you can't lose in the first turn. But at the end of your turn, if you have all 3 in front of you, your guy's already been flipped, and you don't have an alibi card to match those, you lose. Everyone else wins. You are then at that point encouraged to make a long story as your confession as to why you killed the innocent victim. Where to start? I guess I should get out of the way right away that I know what this game is supposed to be. This game is supposed to be a storytelling thing, a method, a catalyst for people to get around and tell stories, okay? And I understand that's what it is because there is absolutely nothing else. First of all, the size of this box is ridiculous because essentially you're getting a deck of cards. And not just a deck of cards, but a playing deck of cards. Now, granted, these have different methods and motives and opportunities and alibis on them, and the artwork in this game is fantastic. But they included this solitaire dice game, which is absolute junk. I mean, the fact that these custom dice were made saddens me because it's a waste. You saw that game. It is simply raw. It's just raw. There's nothing else. You roll and see what happens. Come on. Okay. Now, the game comes with tuck boxes, which is Game Salut's thing that they do nowadays, and that's fine, and it fits everything. But, I mean, really, this deck of cards, the game, we're talking about a game that's so... it's dumb. You play a card in front of somebody, and then you get rid of a card in front of you. There's no strategy. There's no tactics. It's all about the storytelling. And you say, Vasel, that's the point. It's about the storytelling. But the fact is, if you're going to make a storytelling game, then you need to include more than 52 cards, because you go through all these cards probably over the course of a game, at least in the games I played, and you will then start doing the same things over and over again, the same stories. I am tired of people making storytelling games and not putting a lot of effort into them, and just having this small amount of storytelling in a steampunk thing in a box does not justify this. Did no one along the way of this say, hey, wait a minute, guys. Hey, this is beautiful. Box is great. Idea is kind of cool. You know, maybe we should put a game in the box. Nonsense. Do not get this. Definite my recommendation. Even if you're a storytelling person and you like telling stories, there are so many games out there that do the same thing. Here's an example. Snake Oil. The James Ernest's Great Big Idea. Those games have stories, but there's a mix of cards, so the stories will be different each time. Here, the stories are going to be the same all the time, and the game itself is absolutely blind-numbingly boring beyond belief. And this solitaire dice game should be thrown in the garbage. I want to do something with these dice. They're cool dice, but hey, I got a novella. I got some bookmarks. If I want a novella, I'll go to Barnes and Nobles. If I want bookmarks, well, I don't need bookmarks because I use a Kindle, but, you know, come on. And I see everyone is like saying this game is so much fun, and as there's a big disconnect because every single person I played with disliked it. I don't get it. But no, Ruse, don't get it.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.
There.